The announcement came Friday. The field for the Cadillac Championship was released, and one name was conspicuously absent: Rory McIlroy, the back-to-back Masters champion, the six-time major winner, the man who once declared that the best players should be playing in the biggest events. Out again for the second straight signature event, first the RBC Heritage, now the Cadillac Championship at Trump National Doral, a $20 million purse, a return to a course where he has history. And he said no. The golf world is exploding. Fans are furious, and the questions are mounting. Is he injured? Is he resting? Is he avoiding something or someone? The schedule is a mess. The stars are skipping, and the man who once led the charge against Eliv is now leading the charge out of signature events. This is Golfio. For more coverage in golf, subscribe and hit the notification bell. The Cadillac Championship was supposed to be a celebration. After a decade-long hiatus, the PGA Tour was returning to Trump National Doral's iconic Blue Monster course in Miami. The purse was $20 million. The field was supposed to be loaded, and Rory McIlroy, fresh off his second consecutive Masters victory, was expected to be the headliner. President Donald Trump had personally congratulated him after the Masters. He said he looked forward to watching him compete at Doral. But when the PGA Tour's communications department released the official field on Friday, Rory's name was nowhere to be found. This was not a surprise to those who had been paying attention. Just 2 weeks earlier, Rory had also skipped the RBC Heritage at Harbour Town. That was understandable. He had just won the Masters. He needed a break. But now, he was skipping. Again. 2 signature events in a row. 2 $20 million purses. 2 opportunities to compete against the world's best. And Rory said no to both. The decision sparked immediate backlash. Fans rushed to social media to express their frustration. The best players should be playing in the biggest events, one commenter wrote, quoting Rory's own words back at him. Another called him a hypocrite. A third pointed out that Rory was part of the closed-door meetings in 2022 that helped create the signature event structure in the first place. He helped build this system, and now he was skipping it. But here is the context that the headlines are missing. Rory is not the only one skipping. Matt Fitzpatrick, the world number 3, is also out. So is Xander Schauffele, ranked 9th. So is Ludwig Aberg, ranked 14th. So is Robert McIntyre, ranked 12th. 5 of the top 15 players in the world are skipping the Cadillac Championship, the highest number of top players to or miss a signature event in their short history. The issue is not Rory McIlroy. The issue is the schedule. And that schedule, according to players and fans alike, is broken. To understand why Rory McIlroy is skipping, you have to look at the calendar. The PGA Tour scheduled 3 signature events in a span of just 4 weeks, between the Masters and the PGA Championship. Here is the timeline. April 10-13, the Masters, Major. April 17th and 20, RBC Heritage, Signature Event. April 30th, May 3, Cadillac Championship, Signature Event. May 7th-10, Truist Championship, Signature Event. May 14-17, PGA Championship, Major. That is 3 $20 million tournaments and 2 majors in just over a month. The math is simple. No player can play all 5 and be fresh for the majors. Something has to give. For Rory, what gave was the RBC Heritage and the Cadillac Championship. He will return for the Truist Championship at Quail Hollow, a course where he has historic success. And then he will play the PGA Championship. That is his plan. Rest. Recover. Peak for the majors. But the criticism is not going away. Fans and analysts have pointed out the glaring contradiction. Rory McIlroy was one of the architects of the signature event system. In 2022, he was part of the closed-door meetings that helped lobby for the creation of these lucrative events during the PGA Tour's battle with Live Golf. He said at the time, the best players should be playing in them because ultimately, the PGA Tour needs to be built around the best players because that's what will maximize the value of the product. Now, he is skipping them, and the fans are holding him accountable. PGA Tour pro Michael Kim, known for his candid social media presence, weighed in on the situation. I hope to get to a point where I decide to skip a signature event, even when healthy, Kim wrote on X, in what many interpreted as a subtle jab at Rory. The comment acknowledged what everyone was thinking. Rory is skipping because he can. Not because he is injured, not because of a family emergency, because he has earned the right to pick and choose. And the fans who buy tickets and watch on television are left with a lesser product. The irony of Rory McIlroy's absence is compounded by the reason he is able to skip in the first place. In 2023, when the signature event rules were first implemented, missing a second signature event came with a financial penalty. Rory himself was fined $3 million for skipping the RBC Heritage that year, but the tour quietly eliminated that penalty. The mandatory participation rule is gone. Players can now pick and choose without financial consequence. Rory has taken full advantage. Since the beginning of last year, he has now pulled out of 5 signature events: the Century, the Memorial Tournament, the RBC Heritage, the Cadillac Championship. The list is growing, and the potential earnings he has passed up are staggering. An estimated $13.7 million, $17 million in prize money that he chose not to compete for. He has also pulled out of events for other reasons. At the Arnold Palmer Invitational in March, he withdrew before his third round due to back spasms. He was tied for 9th at the time. The injury occurred during a morning workout, a small twinge that worsened into muscle spasms in his lower back. He called it hour by hour before the Players' Championship the following week. But he managed to play. The back issue was real, but it is not the reason he is skipping the Cadillac Championship. So what is the reason? According to Rory himself, it is about enthusiasm. In January, he told reporters, "I think I need to show up at tournaments with enthusiasm every single time. So, playing in the places that I want to play, playing the tournaments I want to play, not feeling like I'm at a tournament because I'm obligated or have to be there, but because I want to be there." He wants to play where he wants to play. And right now, he does not want to play in Miami. That is his right. He has earned it. But it is also a massive problem for the PGA Tour, which built its entire post-live strategy around the idea that fans would get to see the best players compete against each other more often. The PGA Tour is feeling the heat. Fans and analysts are not just criticizing Rory. They are criticizing the schedule itself. And they have valid points. The Cadillac Championship was added to the 2026 schedule late last year. The tour did not have enough time to find an appropriate spot for it, so they crammed it into an already crowded April-May window. The result is predictable. Stars are skipping, ratings are suffering, and the integrity of the signature event concept is being questioned. One problem the PGA Tour needs to solve, wrote Sean Zach from Golf.com, 3 signature events between Masters and PGA Champ. 0 featuring both Rory McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler. Hilton Head, Rory out, Scotty in. Doral, Rory out, Scotty in. Quail Hollow, Rory in, Scotty out. The 2 best players in the world have not played in a single signature event together since the Masters. Not one. And that is a failure of scheduling. Adam Scott, one of the most respected voices on the tour, addressed the issue directly. "This year is a little bit of an exception, I think," Scott said from Miami. "Ideally, this wouldn't be the way. I think we've got to get through this year, and hopefully the schedule looks a little more balanced next year. The players know it is broken. The fans know it is broken. The question is whether the tour will fix it." Fan reaction on social media has been brutal. Not having any Siggies between the Players and Masters, but then having 3 and 4 weeks between the Masters and PGA is idiotic, and made both these guys not playing inevitable, one account noted. Another fan wrote, "Awful scheduling when Doral became a signature event. Also need to move PGA Championship back to August." The PGA Championship was regularly played in August until 2018. Moving it back would give players breathing room between the spring majors. It is a simple fix, but the tour has not shown any willingness to make it.
So where does this leave Rory McIlroy, and where does it leave the PGA Tour? Let me break down 3 possibilities. Possibility 1. The schedule is fixed for 2027. This is the hope that Adam Scott expressed. The Cadillac Championship was a late addition. The tour did not have time to plan. For 2027, they will spread out the signature events more evenly. They will move the PGA Championship back to August. They will give players the breathing room they need, and Rory McIlroy will return to playing a full signature event schedule. This is the best-case scenario for the tour, but it requires them to admit they made a mistake, something they have been reluctant to do. Possibility 2. Rory continues to pick and choose. This is the more likely scenario. Rory has 5 signature event skips already. He has shown no sign of changing his approach. He will play the events he wants to play, he will skip the ones he does not. And the fans will continue to complain, the tour will continue to struggle with ratings, and the gap between the top players and everyone else will continue to widen. This is the new normal, and it is not going away. Possibility 3. The tour reinstates penalties for skipping. This is the nuclear option. The tour eliminated the $3 million fine for missing signature events. They could bring it back. They could tie eligibility for the season-ending tour championship to signature event participation. They could make it financially painful for stars to skip. But that would risk alienating the very players they're trying to keep. And after the LIV war, the tour is not eager to pick another fight with its biggest stars. My final take is this. Rory McIlroy is not the villain here. He is a 36-year-old golfer who has won 6 majors, completed the career Grand Slam, and won back-to-back Masters. He has earned the right to choose his schedule. The real villain is the schedule itself. The PGA Tour created a system where skipping is the rational choice, and until they fix that system, the best players will keep sitting out. The golf world is exploding, not because of what Rory did, but because of what the tour failed to do. And that is the real story. This is Golfio. If you made it to the end of this video, you care about the real stories behind the game. Subscribe to this channel for more deep dives into the moments that matter, and leave a comment below. Is Rory right to skip, or is he letting the fans down? I will see you in the next video. For more coverage in golf, subscribe and hit the notification bell.